What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we're back after a very nice bounce back. Now, I got to wait for the Nova game to go final, but they're up by 30, so I think we're probably good. I should have bet more on that game. Nova will cover that three-point line pretty easily. We've already gotten Washington in regulation. They win 4-3 over the Bruins, and UC Irvine wins their game outright like I thought they would. Kind of a rough start for them against North Texas, but a nice job by them and the Anteaters in the second half. Great defensive adjustments. They're into the final of the NIT coming up in a couple of days. We'll obviously be watching that pretty closely. So 3-0, up 3 units on the day for us. So we go down, we go 0-3, we turn around and go 3-0. This is kind of the nature in which gambling goes and kind of the way that I go sometimes. You know, when I go 0-3, the next day I tend to kind of bounce back and do pretty well. So it's my birthday week. If you guys don't remember, April 4th is my birthday. I'll turn 48 years old. So today is 4-2. So I like to do fun, crazy, wonky, wild stuff when it comes to my birthday and birthday week. So this is going to be one of them. So I'm a weird numbers guy, right? Gambling guy is weird with numbers. So 2, 4, 7, 14, 21, 28. Those are my numbers, all right? I was born on April 4th, 1977. 2 4s and 2 7s. So 2, 4, 7. Those are my lucky numbers. Today is 4-2. So since we're doing that, I'm going to give you 4 two-leg parlays at a half a unit a pop. Okay, look, I may miss them all. If we miss them all, we wind up going down 2 units. Okay, so it's a 2-unit day. We're down. It's fine. Okay, we're kind of down for the week a little bit because of the juice, but we're 3-3 on the week. So we're flat on the record-wise. Going to give you 4 sports. I'm going to give you 4 bets, 2 money line parlays, or 2 parlays, 2-leg parlays for each here today. All right? Let's have some fun. A couple of them are, nearly 3-1 returns. And I like all the bets. I like them all. You can bet them individually if you want, but let's have some fun here today on the 2nd of April. 4-2 two-leg bets for us here today. But before I give you the plays, we have another really cool giveaway. So we did a very popular Allen Iverson giveaway. We did a very popular Gary Payton giveaway, and our new one is Penny Hardaway. This is a signed Penny Hardaway jersey. How do you win this? It's very easy. Well, it is a Team USA signed Penny Hardaway jersey, thanks to our friends at pristineauction.com. To win this, all you have to do is subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel right now. And if you are already doing so, drop a comment on any Daily Juice video, this one included, and you are entered. That's all you have to do. We will announce the winner here on the Daily Juice on May 2nd. So make sure you have those notifications turned on so you know when there is a new video up and you can claim your prize. All right? Penny Hardaway, Team USA, autographed jersey, thanks to pristineauction.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on a Daily Juice video, and you are entered and you are in. By the way, I am traveling back to Vegas today, so I'm on a plane. I don't know what time I'll tape the juice tomorrow. Probably pretty late. Probably like 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern. So it'll be late. So I'm going to be pretty wiped out and pretty tired. I might tape before I leave. I don't know. So I don't know if I might wait till I get back. I don't know. So we'll see what ends up happening for the podcast on Thursday. But for Wednesday, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the first leg. Let's start small. Let's start with hockey. Okay, the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes are pretty hot, okay? Hurricanes have won 2 games in a row in 8 of their last 10. Hurricanes coming up here today have a matchup up against the Washington Capitals, who just beat the Bruins 4-3. They're on a back-to-back. Washington didn't look good, okay? Washington didn't impress me, and the Hurricanes are trying to catch the Capitals in the Metropolitan. They're not going to do that, but they currently occupy the 2nd spot. They're up on New Jersey, so they're pretty comfortable with where they are, but they're playing really well. And at home, Carolina is 29-8-1. I like them on the money line to beat the Washington Capitals. So the other leg of this bet is we're going to go back to Colorado, who burned us in their last game, in which they should have won their game, but these bets are including overtime at least. The Avalanche are on the road against Chicago. Chicago has been eliminated. They only have 51 points. They're 1-9 over their last 10 games. They've lost 3 straight games, and for the Avalanche, they need this. They have 94 points. They're trying to keep Minnesota and St. Louis at bay, trying to keep themselves in the wild card spot, and they haven't clinched a playoff spot yet. Both the Stars and the Jets have clinched playoff spots. Colorado has 94 points. On the road, they're 20-15-1, which is pretty good. They're 6-2-2 over their last 10, but they've lost 2 straight games. Avalanche money line, parlayed with the Hurricanes money line, is a plus 105 bet for a half of unit. So 0.5 units coming in there at plus 105. All right, let's go to the second leg. That is the NBA. We're going to jump on in with a 2-leg money line parlay, actually 2-leg parlay for the spreads. We're going to take 2 big dogs. Oklahoma City and Boston are both at home. They're both huge favorites. The Thunder are 14.5-point favorites up against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons aren't bad, okay? The Pistons have been a really fun story this year. And it's actually kind of crazy to see the Pistons being a 14.5-point dog on the road to OKC when they have already clinched a playoff spot. They've won 10 games in a row. They've, at home, they're 29-7. But for Detroit, they need this game. They're 6-4 over their last 10. They're 21-17 on the road this year, straight up. They got a lot to play for. I mean, they're trying to keep Milwaukee at bay, trying to keep Orlando at bay, trying to keep themselves in the playoffs. OKC's got a 14.5-point lead. And yes, I know that they're known to kill people and they beat the Bulls 45-117. They beat the Pacers 132-111. They beat the Grizzlies 125-104. Okay. But I think the Pistons have a lot to play for, and they just went to the Pistons and they beat them 113-107. Detroit just saw these guys. Okay. Now, it was a 6-point win. Do I think on the road they should be, 14.5-point dogs? I actually don't think that's the case. I don't think that's too big of a number. They were 4.5-point favorites on the road. They covered. Now they're 14.5-point favorites because they're at home. Give me 14.5 Pistons against the Thunder. And we're going to live dangerously. The Boston Celtics are coming off of their first ever 6-0 road trip. Never been 6-0 on a road trip ever in their career. They've got the Miami Heat coming in. What is Miami playing for? Nothing, like we know. Boston has a 56-19 record. They're 32-7 at home. But after wins, Boston's been known to kind of lay down here. They've won 9 in a row. They're 9-1 over their last 10 straight up. Boston's going to win the game, but will they cover an 11.5-point number against a Miami Heat team that's in the play-in tournament right now? They're a half a game back or half a game ahead of the Bulls. They're 34-41. The Bulls are 34-42, and the Miami Heat have won 5 games in a row. Can they cover? I think they can. Let's go ahead and take a plus 11 and plus 14.5 parlay together in the NBA for a half a unit. And this is going to come out with a pretty decent price for us on this. When you put them both together, it's a plus 264 parlay on this. Pistons plus 14.5. Heat plus 11 for an NBA 2-leg parlay at plus 264. Now, let's go to Major League Baseball. It's Aces Day. The Red Sox are in desperate need of wins. And I mean like desperate need of wins. The only game that they've won so far this year was when they had Garrett Crochet on the mound. Garrett Crochet just signed a monster deal for the Boston Red Sox. Huge. You know he's going to be jacked up and excited. They won 5-2 against the Rangers on opening day with Garrett Crochet on the mound, and Crochet actually wasn't great. He was only okay. He struck out 4. Bullpen came in, did their job. Christian Campbell made his big league debut, looked pretty good. Let's get the Red Sox to get another win here. The Orioles are 3-2. The Red Sox are 1-4. This is what aces do. Aces get the ball, and aces snap losing streaks. Boston's lost 4 in a row. Let's go money line Red Sox with Garrett Crochet, and let's parlay that with my co-host on the Bostonian versus the book. He's from Pittsburgh. I'm from Boston. It's Paul Skeens Day. Let's take Paul Skeens on the money line against the Rays. Now, this is in Tampa, okay? Against that in that wonky ballpark that Tampa plays in, so it's always a little dangerous here. But I don't care where Paul Skeens is pitching; he's throwing gas, straight gas. And when you take Paul Skeens' money line parlayed with the Red Sox money line, that is a plus 230 parlay for a half a unit. Red Sox to win and the Pirates to win. And boy, do both those teams need victories at the moment. It has been an ugly start to the year for both teams. 1-4 Boston, and the Pirates are 1-5. The one win that they had came when it was day after Paul Skeens. They won 4-3 when they beat the Marlins. They got walked off 3 times in 3 losses to the Marlins when they lost 3 out of 4. Skeens on opening day, the bullpen blew it. He was tremendous, but once he came out of the game, the bullpen was horrible. So it's a little scary, but he had 7 Ks in 5 1/3 innings. The bullpen is already feeling the heat here. They got to snap this losing streak. It's been ugly for the Pirates as well, as they've lost 4 games in a row. Red Sox Pirates moneyline parlay is plus 230. And finally, we're going to go to college basketball, and we're going to take a look at Nebraska against Georgetown in the Crown. Yes, this is up again. You guys should be able to bet this. Most states now have it legalized to be able to bet. Nebraska against Georgetown. They're laying 7.5. The Huskers want to play in this, okay? The Huskers look like a team. They got most of their roster there. Most people think it's going to be either Nebraska or Villanova. It's going to win the Crown, just given the rosters that they have brought to Las Vegas. We'll take that, but it's a minus 325 money line for Nebraska. So we got to go find a dance partner. Butler is catching 6.5 points against Boise State. While I think Boise State's going to win this game, Ken Pom has it as a 3-point win for Boise. And Butler looked pretty darn motivated in their first game. Like they looked like they wanted to play, looked like they wanted to be there. And I think that, at least to me, that says something. When they want to be in a tournament like this and they're interested, it's on Fox Sports 1. Boise's had a really good year, but Butler, this is like a second chance on life here for Butler with a chance to go there and take on a 25-10 Boise State team that really is accustomed to playing ball in Las Vegas, but they beat Utah, which I was pretty impressed with Butler winning that game, 86-84. Boise destroyed George Washington, 89-59, maybe a little bit too easy for them on this. And frankly, when the number opened up at 7, I thought that was a little heavy from a tournament type perspective and the way Butler played. And it's been being bet up. I guess it opened up 5.5. It's been up to 6.5. I think I've seen 7 in the market. I'm going to take Butler. I think there's a chance for Butler to keep this game close. Let's get Patrick McCaffrey and company to hit a bunch of threes. Let's keep the game close. 2-leg Nebraska money line and take Butler at plus 6.5. 2-leg parlay. Nebraska on the money line. Butler at plus 6.5 here for the Crown, for the quarterfinals of the Crown. So plays for today: Butler and Nebraska. Points with Butler. Nebraska money line is plus 151 for a half a unit. Pirates and the Red Sox money line parlay is a plus 230, half a unit. Pistons plus 14.5 against OKC. Heat plus 11 against the Celtics is a plus 264 parlay. That's the craziest one of them all for a half a unit. And the Hurricanes in the Avs moneyline parlay at plus 105. If baseball and hockey come in and cash for us, it's a profitable day. We just need 2 out of the 4 to come in. If we get the Pistons and the Heat to come in, we just need hockey, and we're very profitable. So in some form, connection here, we could very well wind up being profitable. If they all come in, it's been a tremendous day. If none of them come in, we're down 2 units, and it's not a big deal. We just go on onto Thursday. So let's have some fun today. just one of those days where sometimes you just got to shake it up a little bit. Sometimes you just got to have some fun, do something different with a couple of money line, two-leg parlays for us here on 4-2. 4-2. 4 bets, 2 legs on April the 2nd. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your parlays, get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.